I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I'd like to thank each of you for coming tonight. Agenda review and disposition.
All set, Madam Chair.
The minutes, both public and non-public, are,
Motion to accept as written?
I just approve them.
Okay.
If there are any corrections or amendments, they stand approved as written. Mr. Halloran.
Just very briefly, Madam Chair, as you know, there were four seats that are up for re-election this year, and they're covered by our four incumbents. No one else took out papers, so Peter, Ross, Maureen, and Ed have all signed up for another term, and thank you very much. I appreciate your service very, very much. And that's really it. Just we'll get ready for tonight's hearing and a little bit under discussion items.
All right, thank you. Mr. Parsons.
Good evening, Madam Chair. I just got a couple of pieces. The high school is hosting the state Nordic competition on the 18th. So it is a big event here. There'll be close to 800 skiers throughout the day that will be using our facilities. Most of all the activity will take place obviously outside. We'll be using the cafeteria for hot food and that piece, and I'm still working on the awards on what that will look like. But we'll have close to at least 30-35 buses here on that Saturday. It is a big day. Mr. Havey is our Nordic ski coach, and he's done a marvelous job of coordinating this with officials throughout the state on putting this together. So that'll be interesting. On that same day too, the state wrestling championship will go on. So I've got administrators throughout different parts, so we'll coordinate that. So we have people in both places.
Is that new, Bruce, to the state wrestling?
No, the state wrestling Division III this year is in Winterswamp. So I'll have a busy day doing both events on that day. Another piece I very happily report to you that Mr. Haller and I had the good fortune this weekend of attending the Scholastic Art Awards for the state of New Hampshire. It was located at Pinkerton Academy in their theater for the entire state. I did bring back the brochure for the board to see, but Plymouth Regional High School was well represented at the award ceremony. I'd like to recognize the following students: Lucy Crowley, Rachel Dembruso, Jack Friedman, Gwendolyn Hoyt, Ursula Hoyt, Ellen Knight, Emily Miller, Maya Corkindale, Sky Decato, Elizabeth Holt, Gwendolyn Hoyt, Cheyenne Lester, Emily Miller, Toby Phillips, Shane Raines, Abigail Sutcliffe, Aiden Temporino, Peter Templeton, and Isabel Winkstead. All were honored with either a gold key or a silver key or honorable mention. I did bring back the brochure for you. In fact, when you take a look at the back, there were 6 gold key artworks that were selected by a panel of 21 judges as being the best works in the entire state of New Hampshire for this year, 2017. Each student received a $100 cash prize, and Gwendolyn Hoyt from Plymouth Regional High School, her piece was chosen as one of the 6. And I want to send out congratulations to both art teachers, Lynn Sanborn and Mary Boyle, on a job well done. And I really want to thank the superintendent for going down there on a Sunday to see those works. I mean, we met with all the kids, and it was nice to see the presentation. So I'll send this around. And I do have a proposal under other business for dealing with a track issue that I'll take up later. That's it, Madam Chair.
All right.
Thank you.
Facilities, Policy and Budget Program and Staffing are all meeting Monday, February 20th. SCC, have you met since we?
No, I believe it's March, the first Monday in March. I don't have my calendar.
It's the first Monday in March.
Yep.
Okay, so SCC is first Monday in March. Discussion items.
I let Bruce talk to you about Winter Carnival Day.
If you recall, last year I had a request. Winter Carnival is on the 24th. On that day, we have 50 to 60 activities going out through the whole building. And I'm requesting an early release at 1 o'clock. It was very successful last year, extremely well attended by the students. And the timing just works out perfectly for me. So if the board would so grant me this year, I'd like to again request on Winter Carnival that I release the students at 1 o'clock. That's a full day for them, but I'll have the buses pick them up at 1 o'clock on that.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
And seconded. Any questions for Bruce? All those in favor of the early release on December 24th, being 1 o'clock? Opposed and abstaining?
Thank you. And the next one is me too, on SAT. As you recall, this year, Plymouth Regional High School is testing the entire school on 9, 10, 11, with the exception of the seniors, I'm sorry. With the, some of them are taking an SAT pretest, the PSAT, and of course the required juniors, the SAT on that day. I don't think I'm gonna need an early release. If anything, the kids could go around 1:30, quarter to 2, but I just wanted a approval if that happened. I have a full day planned for the seniors. It is a regular day. I've got them going through a number of workshops. We'll be up at Waterville Valley for the day. It's almost like a mini senior seminar. I've got a number of community members that have volunteered their time that are doing different workshops regarding finance, wellness, a whole litany of different activities. But I could be, depending on the test, on the hours and the amount, asking that we may have a release at 1:30. Again, I don't know because of the how that test will function. But if I could have your approval that it possibly could be at 1:30, I'd need a vote for that.
Make that
Motion, Sam, second, Lisa. Any questions for Bruce?
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed and abstaining?
Last,
All
I
yours.
guess this is me too. As you know, we've been hosting, you had the track committee come and do a presentation and talk to you a couple of times. They have been meeting monthly. One of their meetings was, the first meeting they held that I attended was at the Pease Memorial Library, and I invited the group to host their meetings here. They've been well attended, and they're moving forward. But one of the proposals that they need your approval for, they would like to establish an account. And we've done this before with the track people a long time ago, and I think we did the same with the people who were responsible for putting the ski jump together. So I contacted Dan Rosner to get all the details that they would need, and I do need the approval from this esteemed board. I need to direct the treasurer to open a separate account for these funds for the development of a track project. I need this board to recognize the track committee that they're doing this and authorize the use of direct federal ID number by the committee in the application, because they are applying, as you well know, for a number of grants. And we need to define a person associated with the project, and I would like to present that person as in John Marinowski. He was the gentleman that addressed this board before. So I would need a motion to accept this and establish this account, and the money would be held over at the SAU.
Was that a question?
Yes, sir.
We had an account, or they had an account previously, and then the committee, as I understood it, sort of fell apart.
Correct.
How did the money get back to the people who put it in there?
We mailed it all back.
Oh, but you knew?
We knew.
Okay.
We had a complete
Okay.
list, and your auditors, in fact, oversaw the project. Checks were cut. Some of you may have gotten those checks back, and so all that money was dispersed,
Okay.
and the account was closed. This is I don't think there's any overlap on the committees. I think this is a brand new set.
Brand new, it's brand new.
So we're recognizing the committee, allowing
We're
them to
recognizing this committee, the
use
track committee, to build it up, and we're recognizing to set up an account for them to apply for grants, and obviously there'll be a tax exempt.
And that's your ID, correct?
Correct.
Is there a possibility they'll be able to raise all the money for the track?
They're very enthusiastic, and their meetings are well attended. They have a number of people from Plymouth University that are helping them along, and it's quite an enthusiastic group. But there's a deadline they need to meet. One of their grants they have to get in by the February 18th, so they need this authorization from this board.
So is there a second to that motion, Barbara? Any other questions? All those in favor?
Thank you very
Opposed
much.
and abstaining, all right.
That's it for me. Too much.
Deliberative session prep.
Yes, as you know, at 6:30, the district has its deliberative session. That's an evening that's run by the moderator, Quentin Blaine. And basically, what we're doing is presenting the questions on the warrant to the district voters, and then the district voters have a right to amend the money. They can't change the purpose of the article, but they have a right to amend the money if they so choose. If not, the moderator allows the warrant articles to pass on to the ballot, which is voted by all of us in our hometowns on March 14th. So there's just, the only matter of business, I believe, is for board members to move the articles, and I think you're all aware of how that's done. So, and then we would respond to any questions that come up. The first article on the bond, we'll do a brief presentation. Chris Solomon will be here. He's supposed to have about 500 flyers, and that we'll begin to use throughout. So Bruce and Dan Rossner and I will do the presentation on the first article, respond to any questions, and then hopefully it'll be passed on to the warrant, and likewise for articles 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's a rather brief night historically. You never know, but it's a relatively brief night. So the board, perhaps at the end of the meeting, could disperse the warrant articles in terms of moving them. We have the little cards for you. I mean, it's
Okay.
basically move the article,
Yep.
but somebody needs to be responsible for that. And that's really about it. I don't know, in the collective bargaining, I don't know if we get any questions on the collective bargaining warrant, if some of the folks that negotiated it wanted to talk. There is an explanation sheet that goes along, and sometimes that handles it. Sam
Yep,
is going to
okay.
talk to that. So, and any budget issue that might come up. Yeah. Yeah, and then any issue that comes up on the budget, again, Bruce and I can handle any of it, because they tend to be pretty site-specific, so. Other than that, I think we're set. And for folks who are watching on TV, you know, once you call a deliberative session or a town meeting or a school district meeting, it has to go on. And it can be recessed to another time, but it has to be called to order, and then the moderator makes the decision. Historically, even on very clear winter nights, attendance is not overwhelming. So, and I'm talking with the moderator today. He feels like you know, all of this is voted on in March in the hometown. So it's a matter of moving it on to the ballot. So I believe he's gonna go through with it tonight.
And the TV will be there tonight?
Yes.
Yes, they're going down.
Great,
Yeah.
perfect.
One other update, I can do it under this article. We are beginning to meet in the communities with boards of selectmen and individuals about the project, and we'll be talking with the Plymouth newspaper, and these flyers will be out all over. Cappy and I know are meeting with the Ashland folks, and we have a couple meetings in Ashland, and we're out and about. We did a presentation in Thornton the other night. We're meeting with the Thornton, Melinda and I are meeting with the Thornton selectmen. So we're getting out and about, so hopefully the word will get out there. You're sort of limited by what you can do by statute, and there's no, it's unlike an elementary school where you get a big parents committee and they're flooding everything. This is a renovation of a high school building, ascending town, and so ownership sometimes is just us sometimes. So, but we'll do the best we can out there. I think as I'm meeting with people, sort of the deferred maintenance versus the amount that we need to pay with state aid, that they sort of, most people are sort of saying, well, I get this. And more importantly, that no new jobs, no, there are no new jobs, there's no expansion of the building. This is a real nuts and bolts renovation of this building, upgrading of equipment, better use of space, taking care of code issues that, quite frankly, have been outdated for some time. So I think it's being met very positively throughout the district.
All right. Any other business? Board member concerns? Now, we don't adjourn the meeting. What's the terminology?
No, you can, you can adjourn this meeting, and then at the hearing, at the end of, actually, it's over. At the end of the hearing, it's over, it passes on. That's the bond, that's a budget hearing.
Okay.
Where you pass the budget after you take input.
All right.
Yeah, this one is adjournable. And
Motion to adjourn?
So-
Peter, seconded by Walter. All those in favor?
Aye.